the Great Northwoods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Today on Good Morning Maine, a woman from northern Maine is facing murder charges following a deadly fire.
We'll also meet Holden's new police chief, who plans to continue the good work the department is known for.
And state lawmakers tackle gun control in the wake of another deadly school shooting.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going to start off with a check of the weather. Looks like a rather cloudy day upon us today. We may see a few breaks of sun. The good news, though, is the temperatures will be up there, very spring-like conditions, up around in the 50s.
Definitely.
So.
I know last week I started to see one flower pop out of the ground, and this is that weather that really makes us trust that.
Yeah, it doesn't take much, and I noticed the snow's receding really quickly, too.
Yep,
so.
I'll take it. All right, here's Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop with a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there. We do have a small craft advisory that's posted until about the noon time frame today. The wave heights will start to calm down. By that point, as we'll have an area of low pressure that will be moving away from us, and things will start to calm down. For now, we just have clouds moving through, maybe a little bit of precipitation that moved through recently. We won't see much of anything today, but later on this week, especially within the next day or two, we'll be watching out for a little bit of a wintry mix that will be moving in. We could be dealing with some ice in a few areas, but overall for today, we'll just be dealing with the clouds as we'll be mostly cloudy. Any rainfall will stay to our south. So futurecast moving forward for today, mostly cloudy. Maybe southwestern Maine can see a little bit of that rain. We'll clear out for a while as we head towards later on tonight and the parts of Wednesday morning, with an active weather on the way later in the day for your Wednesday and also into your Thursday. The winds won't be too bad for a while, mainly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but starting to increase as we head towards Wednesday into Thursday. I will not be surprised if we do notice a little bit in the way of some advisories posted by that point, especially for Wednesday. We'll see about Thursday. But your early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, watching for a mostly cloudy sky, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. A woman from northern Maine is facing murder charges following a fire that killed a man in Caribou. Authorities say 34-year-old Susan Kochanowski set the fire that destroyed an apartment on Water Street back on January 26th. The body of 30-year-old Jason Donahue was found in the rubble. Officials say Kochanowski had been living in the same building. According to the Portland Press-Herald, she is now being held without bail and is charged with both murder and arson.
A former Holton resident is expected to plead guilty to manslaughter this week. Lee Ann Daigle was arrested in Massachusetts in June for a baby that was found abandoned in a gravel pit more than 35 years ago. The neighbor's dog discovered the child in 1985 in Frenchville and carried it back home. Authorities determined the baby had been abandoned in sub-zero weather, but it took decades before they had enough evidence to make an arrest. Daigle was originally charged with murder, but is expected to plead guilty to the lesser charge of manslaughter. She'll appear in a Holton courtroom on Thursday.
A Lincolnville man charged with murder was arraigned yesterday and says he's not guilty. 47-year-old Matthew Pendleton was arraigned yesterday at Waldo County Courthouse in Belfast. Pendleton is charged with murder in the death of 47-year-old Kevin Currett back on January 5th. Just after 9:30 in the morning, Waldo County Sheriff's deputies were called to 54 Thorndike Road in Lincolnville for an unresponsive man. When they arrived, they found Currett dead at the scene. No date for a bail hearing has been set at this point.
Ellsworth police report multiple drug busts in recent days and are asking for your help in tracking suspicious activity. According to the Ellsworth Police Department's Facebook page, on March 29th, during a traffic stop on the Bangor Road, officers located just under 80 grams of cocaine and almost $8,500 in cash. Jeffrey S. Card of Ellsworth was charged with trafficking of scheduled drugs. And on April 2nd, while investigating a trespassing complaint at a local motel, officers found roughly 76 grams of fentanyl and 12.13 grams of cocaine. Sean D. Silsby of Ellsworth was charged with aggravated trafficking of a scheduled drug and unlawful possession of a scheduled drug. Silsby was also arrested on an outstanding warrant for failing to appear on a charge of theft out of Penobscot County. Ellsworth police would like your help. If you have any information about the ongoing sale of drugs in Ellsworth, you can contact the tip line at 669-6699 and remain anonymous.
Well, just a couple of weeks ago, the state of Maine said a final goodbye to beloved Holden Police Chief Chris Greeley. Now, one of the officers he mentored is stepping up to fill Greeley's role and plans to continue the work that he started. Our Devin Dagnall has the story.
So my name's Eduardo. I'm the new Chief of Police for the Holden Police Department.
On Tuesday, March 28th, the town of Holden swore in their newest police chief, Eduardo Benjamin. I had a chance to sit down with him to discuss his upbringing, his time working with Chief Greeley, and what he sees for the future of the department.
What do you want your legacy to be?
Of course, I have big shoes to fill, but I'm going to create my own path.
According to Benjamin, he doesn't see any big changes for the department in his first year. And after that, who knows what obstacles they might face, but he will be ready for any new challenges as police chief. He says right now his biggest challenge is maintaining the environment that makes Holden Police and the town they serve special.
And we're very unique, when someone call here, I pick up the phone. And I used to tease Chief, I was like, you might be the only department in the state that, somebody called the police department and the chief answered the phone.
Originally from Brazil, Benjamin immigrated to Maine in the early 2000s and became a police officer in 2010, after Chris Greeley allegedly cornered him in his own gym with an application. Benjamin credits his philosophy of community service to his mentor and predecessor, the late Chief Chris Greeley.
Chief Greeley, or Chris Greeley, he was he was a mentor, he was a friend, and he was like a father figure to me. So I was lucky enough to work by his side for almost 8 years, and I can say that I learned from the best.
All in all, Benjamin says he is excited for his new position and the opportunities and challenges it brings with it. In Holden, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine State Police are remembering Detective Benjamin Campbell 4 years after his death. Detective Campbell was killed in the line of duty on April 3rd, 2019. He had stopped to help a motorist whose vehicle had become disabled on the side of I-95 South in Hamden during a snowstorm when a tire came off a passing truck and struck him. The freak accident and Campbell's death stunned Mainers and ultimately resulted in a $15,000 fine and traffic violations for the driver of the truck. Yesterday, Maine State Police remembered Campbell with a post on their Facebook page. Detective Campbell joined the state police in 2012. He is survived by his wife and son.
Well, on Medical Freedom Day, Mainers spoke out both for and against bills concerning vaccines in Maine. Some believe they shouldn't be mandatory. Our Matthew Jaroncic has the story.
Emotions ran high for those testifying in front of the Education and Cultural Affairs Committee on whether a vaccine mandate should be implemented.
What is the intent behind mandating a vaccine that is known to be killing and injuring people? It certainly appears that the intent is to harm or to kill. This is essentially legislating murder.
The bills touched on multiple areas of the vaccine debate and mandate controversy. One would restore religious and philosophical exemptions for immunization requirements. Conversely, another bill sought to implement a mandate for school children to receive the COVID-19 vaccine or any vaccine covered under emergency use authorization. Other bills discussed included one to prohibit mandates for students enrolled in public schools, and as well as another proposed law that would ban vaccine requirements under emergency use authorization as a condition for admission or attendance of higher educational institutions. House Republican leader Billy Bob Falkingham was among those who testified. He says the state has to do better in including those who have not received their COVID vaccines.
The state of Maine has a constitutional requirement to provide public education for all students, and right now that education is not being provided to those students.
Others argued everyone needs to be vaccinated in order to create a safe environment.
Our children deserve to be safe in their schools, and one of the ways to keep them safe is to help prevent disease. Primary prevention is a goal in our line of work, and what we are trying to do is allow children to attend school free of preventable disease.
Victoria Buckland, who testified in front of the Educational and Cultural Committee, says she is against vaccines in general and believes vaccine makers have ulterior motives.
I think our government and our pharmaceutical companies are not working in our best interest, and we need to be aware of that.
Bills will continue to be discussed and worked on before receiving a vote from the committee. Augusta, Matthew Jaroncic reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
All right, the time is now 6:10. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about a bill that the Maine Judiciary Committee heard yesterday that would reduce the number of associate justices on the Maine Supreme Judicial Court.
But first, another look at our forecast. We can expect mostly cloudy conditions today with a high near 55 degrees, partly cloudy overnight with the lows down in the mid-20s. Tomorrow, we can expect a wintry mix with a high near 39. We'll be right back.
Why should your new floor come from Carpet One? Because we're passionate about the spaces our neighbors call home. We're part of your community, and we're also part of the world's largest cooperative of independently owned and operated flooring stores. So you can be sure you'll get great selection and outstanding value with every installation. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, tile, or luxury vinyl, our experts take the guesswork out of choosing the right floor. We're your local Carpet One Floor and Home, the one store for your perfect floor.
Right now, Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
All the nonsense
Fibber.
meets no nonsense.
I don't buy it.
Judge Judy.
Weekdays at 5 on ABC 7.
This week on Jeopardy, our contestants have the look.
You have a great Alex Trebek mustache.
Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment.
And have a lot to live up to.
I was voted most likely to be famous. So if this doesn't work, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
This week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
As the nation debates gun control in the wake of the mass shooting in Nashville, Maine lawmakers are taking up an issue too. A number of measures were introduced Monday in Augusta. Mal Meyer was at the State House with what the bills would do and reaction from both sides.
She was only 25.
Judy Richardson's daughter, Darian, was shot during a Portland home invasion in 2010. She died less than 2 months later.
Our daughter's homicide investigation is just stalled.
According to Richardson, and as CBS 13 has reported, the original owner sold the gun without a background check, legally under the law.
He was at a gun show. He said he doesn't even remember what day he sold it, doesn't know who he sold it to.
She's not sure if the buyer would have passed a background check, but at least there would have been a record. That's one of the reasons why Richardson, who owns a gun, is supporting a bill to close the so-called gun show loophole.
The bad guys, they don't do background checks. Pure and simple.
The proposal, along with 3 others, is getting a lot of attention from gun rights advocates.
Thank you for coming out today to defend your Second Amendment right.
Other bills facing pushback would require a 72-hour waiting period after a sale, increase penalties for possession by prohibited people, or make it a crime to give prohibited people a firearm. Is there any middle ground that you'd be willing to settle on?
The position of gun owners of Maine is that any time that you seek to curb criminal activity by infringing on the rights of law-abiding citizens is not a good thing for the Second Amendment, and it's not a good thing for the Constitution.
The groups argue the measures wouldn't reduce crime in Maine, but for moms like Judy Richardson, it's worth a try.
Do laws stop everything? No. But we improve when we can.
Mal Meyer reporting. Meanwhile, also at the State House, the Judiciary Committee heard testimony on a bill that would reduce the number of associate justices on the Maine Supreme Judicial Court in order to add judges to the Superior and District Courts in Maine. LD 1192 was presented by Senator Rick Bennett of Oxford. The bill would reduce the number of associate justices on the Supreme Court from 6 to 4, but would then add a justice to the Superior Court and a judge to the District Court benches. While there is opposition to the reduction on the associate justices, there was some agreement on the need in the lower courts.
We just think that the right way to get there is not to reduce the number of justices on the Maine Law Court. For example, we have 7 justices now. If 1 or 2 of them need to recuse themselves, that leaves fewer justices to be able to make important decisions. Maine is a very small state.
The bill was inspired by a reported backlog of cases due to an insufficient number of judges and, in some cases, the need for more public defenders.
The Penobscot County Commissioners have hired Patriot Consulting to act as a lobbyist on behalf of the county at the State House in Augusta. Owner of Patriot Consulting, Zach Lingley, told us the goals that have been set are to push for more funding for the county for a new jail and additional deputies. Lingley says the need for more deputies is in part to cut down on response time during emergencies, and that Penobscot County is unlike any other in Maine, just based on mileage along Interstate 95. Many counties across Maine have been trying to address the need for more personnel as state police reconstruct patrols and funding shared with counties in rural Maine.
It's really a problem faced by so many. I was reading a report earlier today that I think it was like 10 of Maine's counties are in desperate need of deputies and corrections officers. It's so bad in Cumberland County that they've had to shut down half the jail down there because they don't have enough workers to watch everything. So that's kind of a trickle-down thing. It's going to impact everybody around the state eventually.
Right, and they just go to another jail.
Yep.
All right, the time is now 6:16. After the break, the Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife will receive a hefty sum of money for preservation work.
We'll be back with that story and more right after this.
This week, when Jason Bateman and Marlon Wayans are live on GMA, one thing is for sure.
I can't tell that joke. Can I say that in the morning?
Anything can happen. Plus, Ali Wong and Christine Coe live this week on
Good Morning America.
Wow, with fuel prices quickly rising and no end in sight, isn't it time to give Black's Heat Pumps a call? Did you know heat pumps could save you up to 50% on your heating bill? Our experts can handle all your commercial and residential work and provide you with quality installation, repair, and maintenance. Give us a call today for a free estimate. Our #1 priority is to save you money and keep you comfortable all year long. Get the service you deserve. Find us at blacksheatpumps.com and on Facebook.
Make the most of your waterfront with a Shoremaster dock system from Hammond Lumber Company. Shoremaster docks and boat lifts have been the trusted choice for decades. With Shoremaster, you get the expert product knowledge and first-class service you've come to expect from Hammond Lumber. Hammond is the country's largest stocking Shoremaster dealer, so you won't wait to get the dock system you want. Hammond delivers from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire with professional service after the sale. Your dream waterfront begins with Shoremaster from Hammond Lumber Company.
A superhero of the Avengers and his extraordinary fight to live.
Someone's been run over by a snowcat. He's been caught.
In sign language, you said to your family, "I'm sorry."
Sorry.
Thursday night on ABC.
Welcome back, everyone. Maine's Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife is getting more than $500,000 to preserve and protect vulnerable species and habitats. They will use the federal funding to build on the department's current projects. Those include the conservation of butterfly, flowerfly, and bumblebee populations. It also includes improving the availability of nesting habitats for endangered freshwater turtles. In a statement, Senator Angus King and Susan Collins said, quote, Maine's wildlife carries immense cultural and economic significance to our state, and it is crucial that we do everything we can to protect our threatened and endangered species before it's too late.
NASA announced on Monday the 4 astronauts who will be part of the Artemis II mission to the moon, a mission that has been in the planning stages since 2019. Maine's own astronaut Jessica Muir had been put on the short list for the Artemis II mission back in 2020. However, it appears she was not chosen for the mission. Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Katrina Koch, and Canadian mission specialist Jeremy Hansen were chosen for the 10-day mission that will have them doing a lunar flyby and orbiting the moon aboard the Orion spacecraft. Artemis II is set to take off in November of 2024.
Pretty neat. Meanwhile, a couple from Molunkus is putting the Pine Tree Trail back on the Maine state map. The duo uncovered an old metal Pine Tree Trail sign on their property, and once they researched what it was all about, they made it their joint mission to reintroduce the public to this forgotten trail. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Back in 2012, Nate Nipula uncovered a piece of Maine history while working on his property in Molunkus. It was an old pine tree trail sign.
You just never know what you're going to stumble across. I mean, it might take you years before you realize what it is. Between 2012 and 2019, I had the sign in my closet, even hanging out here on the old barn for a while. Then in 2019, I came up with the idea to bring back the recognition of the route.
The Pine Tree Trail, which spans from Portland to Fort Kent, originally used to display 500 signs along the route. It had been labeled on Maine maps and other tourism literature, but somehow became forgotten over the years. Robbie McKay is Nipula's fiancé.
The potential of what it can do to help all these communities that are struggling, there was really only one answer, and that was to revive it.
The couple reached out to the Maine DOT, which informed them it could cost over $100,000 to re-sign the entire route. So the duo opted to have just 135 signs remade at $300 each, which covers the cost of the sign, the hardware, and the installation. White Sign in Stillwater created the new trail signs, which are now going up along the route.
It's not really different than most signs. The only difference is it has the logo.
Nipula and McKay are using their own money earned from Nipula's Wooded Moose creations to pay for the signs, along with contributions from donors that the couple is referring to fondly as trailblazers.
We had someone from South Carolina get in touch with us and say that they want to travel the trail this year. Could we give them some information? You know, bicyclists, they're all excited to bicycle the trail, and it's just phenomenal. The possibilities are endless.
In Molunkus, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Pretty neat.
Very cool, putting Molunkus on the map.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, the time now is 6:22.
Let's get a full look at that weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there. We do have a small craft advisory that is posted until about the noon time frame later today. We'll be watching for some active surf for just a little while yet. It's still active in a few areas ranging from around 5 to 7 feet, even up to 4 feet, according to the buoy. So that is why we're still dealing with a small craft advisory out there this morning. That'll drop by around midday. We may calm down in the wind department for a while, but we'll have to see if more alerts get issued, especially for the daytime tomorrow, as another system begins to move in. For now, though, we're just seeing a little bit of clouds moving through, maybe a few returns of some precipitation in a few spots, but most of it today will be in the southern parts of the state for any precipitation. For us, though, we will stay dry with a mostly cloudy sky. But we have that front that's going to be parked right about in here, actually. We'll want to keep an eye on that, though, as that will give us the opportunity for clouds, but any rainfall will stay to our south. But we will have our turn for a little bit of active weather on the way later this week. So Futurecast moving forward, showing a mostly cloudy sky today, rain to the south. We may clear out for a while overnight tonight, but clouds moving as we head towards your Wednesday, as more active weather will be on the way, and it'll look a little bit like this. By Wednesday night, we'll be watching for a wind shear mix that will be moving in, some ice accumulations and a little bit of snow accumulations. Cannot be ruled out in a few spots. By the time we head towards Thursday morning, a break will be noticed, so temperatures warming up, so any ice that accumulates will be melting, as we'll be watching for normal rain that will be moving through as we head towards Thursday night. Then by early Friday morning, this all gets out of here, and things will begin to cool down and calm down for that matter as well. But otherwise, though, here's the snow accumulations that we have our eye on, at least at this point, though, maybe an inch or two before we're all finished up. Some ice accumulations further off towards the north as well that we'll need to keep an eye on, especially further off towards the north. We'll be watching for some ice accumulations that can range up to maybe 0.3 of an inch further off towards the north. Maybe not as bad further down toward the south, but this will be just enough to cause some problems in a few spots, so we'll need to keep an eye on this as it does develop over time. And just to talk about things, so if you know anyone across the Midwest today, give them a call. Make sure they're paying attention to the forecast. Some strong and severe thunderstorms possible in many areas, though, and at least mixed into red shaded areas and maybe even in the orange shade as well. Some potential for tornadoes as well. So they will need to keep an eye on things. So if you know anyone there, make sure to give them a call and make sure they're aware of this. But otherwise for today, mid-50s, mostly cloudy. The west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mid-20s, partly cloudy. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 39 degrees, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow arriving for the afternoon. The northeast wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. A winter mix switching over to rain for your Thursday. Highs back in the mid-50s, mid-40s for Good Friday with a mostly cloudy sky. Mostly sunny on Saturday. Highs in the low 40s.
Take your taste buds on a journey and experience the brand new international menu Tuesday through Thursday only at the Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub. Every Tuesday, enjoy their delicious French cuisine. On Wednesdays, enjoy their memorable Italian delicacies. And every Thursday, be ready for a fiesta with their Mexican favorites. A full 5-course dinner for just $29.95 per person. And don't forget about their all-you-can-eat seafood Fridays. The Lucerne Inn. Beautiful dining with a delicious view.
In Maine, it's always truck season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we are celebrating New Ram Truck Month by carrying the complete line of hard-charging new Ram trucks from light to heavy duty. At Thornton Brothers, you'll find the right truck for cargo space and comfort for those long trips on the road. No matter what Maine throws at you, our trucks have you covered. So come on over and test drive any of our award-winning new Ram trucks at Thornton Brothers, 125 Main Street, Lincoln.
I got hurt in a car accident and I've got some questions. Can I talk to a lawyer for free?
I answer car accident questions like these every day. Call the twos. We win for you.
If you're hurt in an accident, what do you do? Call 222-2222.
Looking for a new work experience? Fox and ABC Bangor are partnering with local employers to feature the best local job opportunities, like this one.
Central Maine Exteriors is a home remodeling contractor specializing in windows, doors, siding, roofing, decks, as well as interior remodels and new construction. We are hiring framing and finishing carpenters. Call 290-2750. Goose River Farm and Meat Store is conveniently located on Route 3 across from Hammond Lumber in Belfast. They have a wide selection of meat and poultry, including beef, pork, lamb, chicken, duck, rabbit, and turkey. Buy your steak and meats for grilling this summer.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Tennessee Republican Governor Bill Lee unveiled new school safety measures in the wake of last week's shooting at an elementary school. This as police released new information into the investigation of the shooting. Fox News chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt has more from Los Angeles.
With this funding, we're taking the burden off of teachers and schools and districts. There is no excuse to not have a guard at every school.
Tennessee Republican Governor Bill Lee on Monday pushed to make all schools safer following last week's shooting at Covenant School in Nashville, in which 6 people, including 3 children, were killed. Lee unveiled a proposal to provide millions of dollars to tighten security, mainly by placing armed school resource officers at every single school in the state. The plan would not only cover all Tennessee public schools, but it would also make funding available for private schools to hire armed guards. It would also boost mental health resources, but it needs approval from the state legislature first.
There is a desire to find a way forward that protects kids in schools in a better way than we have today.
Nashville police investigating the Covenant school shooting say the 28-year-old shooter fired a total of 152 rounds before being killed by police. Nashville PD says the shooter also studied other mass murders before carrying out the attack at Covenant. A motive has not yet been released. Hundreds of Nashville students walked out of their classrooms Monday to stage a rally at the Tennessee state capitol calling for gun reform.
Meanwhile, in other news, former President Donald Trump is expected to be arraigned today. The former president arrived in Manhattan on Monday. Trump was indicted last week by a Manhattan grand jury for his alleged role in hush money payments made to women during the 2016 election. He's facing at least 30 criminal charges related to business fraud and one possible felony charge. The exact charges are not yet known as the indictment remains sealed. Trump's attorney, Joe Tacopina, says he hopes the indictment process is, quote, painless and classy, and added that they will file for a motion to dismiss once his team sees the indictment.
4 people found dead in front of one of the most renowned hotels in the resort city of Cancun, Mexico. The victims' identities are still unknown. Their bodies were found in an area near the beach. Authorities say 2 people have been arrested, but no further information has been released. The deaths occurring at the beginning of one of the resort's busiest tourist seasons. Last month, the State Department issued a travel alert for Americans planning to spend spring break in the Mexican Caribbean, including Cancun, because of drug and gang-related violence.
Well, could gas prices rise once again this summer? That's what some economic experts are worried about after OPEC Plus announced it would be cutting oil production. The Biden administration opposes the move. Fox News Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel reports from Washington.
President Biden making a stop in Minnesota Monday as part of his Investing in America tour.
The progress we've made creating strong, sustainable economic growth has been real. We passed the American Rescue Plan, the most aggressive economic recovery since Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
The president visited a manufacturer of clean energy technology and promoted his economic agenda, arguing his policies have led to the creation of good-paying jobs across the country.
Federal investment attracts private investment. It creates jobs and industries, and it demonstrates we're all in this together.
Meanwhile, a troubling sign in the fight against inflation. OPEC Plus announced Sunday it'll be cutting oil production by more than 1 million barrels a day starting next month. Saudi Arabia says the decision is a precautionary measure, but experts argue the move could lead to gas prices here in the U.S. reaching $4 a gallon during the peak summer travel season.
We are in a spiral of inflation right now, and our energy policy has just added fuel to the fire.
The Biden administration is against the decision, citing market uncertainty.
We're going to continue to work with all the producers and consumers to ensure that energy markets support economic growth and lower prices for American consumers.
Reductions in oil production are expected to last through the end of the year.
Still to come here on the second half of our show, we'll hear all the latest entertainment news coming out of Hollywood.
Don't go away. We'll have more right after this.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
This isn't your parents' photo booth. Premier Limousine and DJ present the latest in photo booth technology, the Magic Mirror Air Booth. We offer unlimited prints of beautiful 4x6 full-color photos and unlimited photos sent directly to your phone. The new Magic Mirror Air Booth is available for proms, weddings, birthdays, class reunions, and corporate events with one of the largest selection of props available. You can book the Magic Mirror Air Booth and DJ services separately or take advantage of our very popular package deal. Contact us at Premier Limousine and DJ.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations, 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel or Newport.
Why do thousands of customers take the drive to Newport for all their shoes? Because Comfort Shoes and More has the styles you want, and they also have trained podorthists on staff to help you with all your footwear and arch support issues. We provide free foot evaluations by people who care about fitting you with the most comfortable shoes you will ever own. We have shoes in stock up to 6C and size 17, from safety shoes and boots, running, walking, casual or dress. We have it all at Comfort Shoes and More, 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport, across from Irving.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back, everyone. Today is Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. It's also National Hug a News Person Day.
I don't need a hug though.
That's okay.
I'm okay.
I don't want anybody hugging me either right now.
But somebody that's not us.
Yeah,
yes.
sometimes it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a day to show appreciation for all the people who keep us informed about the world around us. So feel free to hug any news gatherers you come across today with consent. Even if it means wrapping your TV in a super weird embrace.
You like that?
Yes.
I thought you might like that line there. We had a reporter who actually went out and did a story several years ago about hugging Newsperson Day, and he loved hugs, so he went around hugging everybody. And
naturally,
you know,
yes.
I'm
well,
a
that's
hugger
sweet.
too. I like to hug too. And
There's a time and a place where it's really nice.
There's a time and a place for
Absolutely.
it. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
If you see a reporter, though, this is your excuse. Go up and give them a good hug today.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
With consent, like she said, you know.
Keyword with most things.
Consent.
Okay.
Yeah.
On this day in history, in 1949, NATO was formed as 12 nations signed the North Atlantic Treaty to establish one of the world's most important military alliances. In 1968, civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated while standing on a motel balcony in Memphis. And in 1974, Hank Aaron tied Babe Ruth's record by hitting his 714th home run in Cincinnati. And in 1975, Bill Gates and Paul Allen established Microsoft, which has become the world's largest maker, of course, of software.
I think they started it in their garage, and you know, look where it's gone from there. You know,
I have to admit, Craig, you know, the difference between software and hardware, it's like, I'm just gonna, those are things that we can keep over there and we don't have to talk about because I don't understand.
Both, but they kind of specialize in software now.
Computer stuff.
Yeah, computer stuff, you know. That's things I ask somebody else for, you know, information about.
Me too, yeah.
Today's birthdays include actor Robert Downey Jr., who is 57, magician David Blaine is 48, talk show host Graham Norton is 58. Do you know who Graham Norton is?
Nope.
I don't really know him either. I recognize his picture. And so
you put it in there.
Well, I figured other people know who he is.
Okay.
But see, I don't watch talk shows. So.
I don't either.
Yeah. Anyway, this one's kind of neat, though. This is also the birthday of Dorothea Dix, who became an early 19th century activist who championed causes for both the mentally ill and indigenous populations. She was born in Hamden back in 1802.
Right.
A number of things are named after her because of all the work she did, including the former Bangor Mental Health Institute is now the Dorothea Dix psychiatric facility.
Right, they have inpatient and outpatient, I believe. But that was always one of the things in school that in K through 12 I was excited to learn about because that put Bangor on the map. And these are things that kids everywhere would be learning about because she was part of a movement for mental health.
Trailblazer way back when nobody was talking about it.
Right, right. Very cool. Love to see it. I mean, as far as the weather goes, it doesn't seem like you'll need your heavy-duty winter coat today at all.
No.
It may be sweatshirt and a flannel weather.
Yeah.
I love that.
Too,
That's my favorite.
It'll be getting up into the 50s, so kind of cloudy, but not bad at all. Good day to hug a news person out there.
Right.
If you find one.
Right. If you find one. Okay,
you
here's Devin Biggs.
I had COVID,
Devin Biggs is huggable. So. He's a huggable guy. We'll turn it over to Devin.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Tuesday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there. We do have a small craft advisory that's posted until about the noon time frame today. The wave heights will start to calm down. By that point, as we'll have an area of low pressure that will be moving away from us, and things will start to calm down. For now, we just have clouds moving through, maybe a little bit of precipitation that moved through recently. We won't see much of anything today, but later on this week, especially within the next day or two, we'll be watching out for a little bit of a wintry mix that will be moving in. We could be dealing with some ice in a few areas, but overall for today, we'll just be dealing with the clouds as we'll be mostly cloudy. Any rainfall will stay to our south. So futurecast moving forward for today, mostly cloudy. Maybe southwestern Maine can see a little bit of that rain. We'll clear out for a while as we head towards later on on tonight and a parts of Wednesday morning, with an active weather on the way later in the day for your Wednesday and also in your Thursday. The winds won't be too bad for a while, mainly at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but starting to increase as we head towards Wednesday and Thursday. I will not be surprised if we do notice a little bit in the way of some advisories posted by that point, especially for Wednesday. We'll see about Thursday. But your early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, watching for a mostly cloudy sky, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you, Devin. Well, this is kind of neat. Local children will soon be able to watch a free movie at the Center Theater in Dover-Foxcroft. Northern Light Mayo Hospital announced it's sponsoring a free movie night to provide children and families with a fun activity during the upcoming spring vacation. They'll be showing Space Jam, A New Legacy, featuring basketball great LeBron James and Looney Tunes crew.
Oh, so one of the original ones.
Yeah. It will take place on Tuesday, April 18th at 5:30. And admission will be first come, first served. They're doing all kinds of neat things at the Center Theater in Dover-Foxcroft, and that's one of them.
Another good spot, I mean, you can't beat free stuff. That's so rare these days, but I'm pretty sure Millinocket does similar stuff in Stearns High School. Either way, to go to the Millinocket town page, and they have a very nice community calendar up. I often use it when I'm looking for community calendar events, and they often do stuff on Thursdays and Fridays as well, so all sorts of stuff like that.
Look for that, too.
Yeah, very cool. Still to come here this morning, Tyler Cruz will have our sports updates.
We'll be right back.
Taylor Events and Equipment Rental in Bangor for all your wedding and events, tents, tables, chairs, and more. Also see us for your home project equipment rentals. Taylor Events and Equipment Rental, 1179 Hammond Street in Bangor. Harris Lumber is locally owned and has been serving the Pequot region for more than 50 years. See them for all your projects, big or small. Customer service is their #1 priority, and with a full line of lumber and hardware items, they can also deliver to your job site. Harris Lumber, Milo.
Hewitt Lift and Rolodock creates
the strongest, simplest, and most reliable dock system. With one simple goal:
to get you on the lake
faster and easier than anyone else.
Because at Hewitt, we build stronger.
After 40 years of quality building, we get it.
Hewitt family builds for your family.
For your family.
For your family.
Stand on the solid foundation of the Hewitt family.
Docks, pontoon legs, and boat lifts.
You work hard, play harder. You deserve a Hewitt.
This week on Jeopardy, our contestants have the look.
You have a great Alex Trebek mustache.
Well, thank you. I think that's a compliment. And have a lot to live up to.
I was voted most likely to be famous. So if this doesn't work, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
Plus, Ken covers the classics.
This novelty song from 1962 contains the lyric, "It was a graveyard smash."
Join in and
kick it old school.
This week on Jeopardy.
This week at 7:30, only on ABC7. Put a little more cash in your bank. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everyone, and thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some baseball here. Down east in Ellsworth, the Eagles wrapped up tryouts and kicked off practice towards the end of last week, looking to defend their title as Class B state champs. In 2022, Ellsworth rolled through Class B. They finished 19-1 and won their second state title in 3 years. Pitching huge in that run. They finished the regular season with an earned run average below 1. The 3 best pitchers graduated after last season, and they lost 3 other important seniors, but they are confident the next guys up have what it takes to get the job done.
They're all good ball players. They know how to play baseball. You know, I mean, they'll develop mentally over time and mature throughout the season. Especially this season, they're going to grow a lot as baseball players.
They're baseball players and they're athletes. I have confidence in all of them. I've got confidence in the guys with no experience. I've got confidence in the younger guys coming in, and they're winners and they're gamers, and if we have those things, we'll make it work.
We have an absurd amount of athletes, and I am very confident in the fact that we could put a freshman out in a position for a whole season and have them do stuff that you would expect from a senior anywhere else.
With that being said, they also have a great group of returners too, and they're excited to get outside this season and show the rest of the state that the Eagles aren't going anywhere.
We're still hungry, and we still have something to prove. I think even more so this year since we lost like a big chunk of our team. I think the feeling is that we want it again.
I think we're going to surprise some people. You know, we're a very young, hungry team, and I think having the low expectations actually will help us throughout the season.
All right, let's see what they can do on the diamond this spring. Let's go to some tennis now. Over at John Babst, both their boys and girls programs are coming off of very successful seasons. Let's start with the girls. The Crusaders posted a really impressive 10-2 record last year, enough for one of the top seeds in Class B North. They went all the way to the regional semifinals, falling in a close match to the eventual state champs from Waterville. But Babst has a lot of returning players with some great varsity experience, giving them the confidence to have yet another successful campaign.
I'm really excited. We have a great season ahead of us, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
I think we're really excited to see what we can do with the amount of talent of my teammates. I think that this is going to be an awesome team this year, and I'm excited to see what the team does in general.
We're going to work really hard. I think we're going to come out strong, and we only lost a couple players last year, and I think we're going to be pretty good this year.
The Crusaders say a big piece of their success last year was how well they got along outside of the matches and how hard they worked, dating back to late March at Armstrong Tennis Center. And it's those same aspects that are going to lead them to victory this year.
I think everyone who's played on our team has been very devoted and has tried really hard for the success we had. Like, we came to practice every day, everyone had a lot of fun, and I think that that atmosphere of just trying our best has really gone into just our overall performance and how we've been playing.
All right, we will hear from their boys on Tuesday. Let's go to the ice now. Monday marks the 30th anniversary of Maine men's hockey's magical run at the national championship in 1993. On April 3rd, 1993, the Black Bears defeated Lake Superior State 5-4, capping off a season that many call the greatest college hockey team ever. They went 42-1-2 and set NCAA all-time records for goals with 292, assists with 481, and points with 773. All those numbers really just mean is a lot. Current Bruins head coach Jimmy Montgomery scored a hat trick in the finals game with all 3 goals coming in a 5-minute span in the third period. Sean Walsh led the Black Bears from behind the bench with late Red Gendron on his side. They started the year 30-2 en route to making Black Bear history. Pretty special team right there. Let's stay on the ice now. The Maine Mariners getting a double dose of great news both Sunday night and on Monday. Earlier Monday morning, the Boston Bruins announcing a 2-year affiliation extension with the Mariners that will run through the 24-25 season. The Mariners will also remain affiliated with the Providence Bruins as well. And last night, the team clinched its second straight playoff appearance for the first time in franchise history. As for the extension, Mariners Vice President of Business Operations Adam Goldberg says it's also a big win for the fans.
We really look at Maine as Bruins country. You look at the fans coming in, you look at the cars on the road, you look at people walking on the street, you see a lot of Bruins colors, a lot of Bruins logos. So we know that the Bruins fan base is strong here, and we love the connection with the Mariners.
All right, let's get to some baseball now. The Red Sox won their opening series this weekend, taking 2 games of 3 against an AL East opponent, the Baltimore Orioles. And in that series, the Sox did something that's only been done twice since 1901. They scored 9 runs in their Game 1 loss, 9 runs in the Game 2 win, and then won the rubber match 9-5 on Sunday. So their 27 runs on 36 hits in their first 3 games puts them in company with the 1976 Reds, who won the World Series, and the 78 Brewers as the only teams in over 100 years to score 9 runs in their first 3 outings. After Sunday's win, here's manager Alex Cora saying, really, the quality of at-bats made the difference for his squad.
We put the one play when it matters. That's what we're trying to accomplish. That's what we bunted early in the game. The quality of the at-bats, the guys that we have, you know, Yoshida, Verdugo, even Rafi, you know, he swings and misses, but, you know, when it matters, we put it in play. From top to bottom, we believe we're going to put pressure on the opposition.
All right, that's all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
So we've lived in this house coming up 23 years. We just bought the tractor, and I haven't any idea how we survived without it.
We're trying to rebuild the rock wall on this new property. She says, pick that rock up and put it here. No, it'll look better if you turn it this way. No, we're gonna need to move it over there 5 feet.
I would come to him and say, can you do this for me? And he'd kind of, you know, do the, ugh. But now he has a tractor, he's much more motivated.
Experience United, your local John Deere dealer.
Bucksport Regional Health Center has cared for the community for almost 50 years. We are trusted and compassionate providers. We have also given thousands of COVID-19 vaccines because the COVID-19 vaccine is very safe, very effective, and your best shot at protecting yourself from COVID. Trust us. Trust the vaccine. Protect yourself. Take your shot against COVID-19.
Hey, a quick note for folks heading in downtown Bangor today. You'll notice some construction crews down around West Market Square. They've apparently had a sinkhole open up around some parking spaces right in front of Patty Murphy's and Happy Endings down there.
Yeah.
So they'll be down there digging up the roadway today, and several parking spaces will not be available because it will be a big hole in the ground. So anyway, you may want to avoid that area today.
Didn't hear about any damage of property.
No, it doesn't look, not like a big, I don't think it's actually opened up, but you can see where the pavement's kind of sunken in.
Gotcha.
And so something down there is causing it, so they'll dig it up and fix it, probably a broken pipe or something.
All the plumbing and sewage systems are so old
Some
down
of it,
there.
yeah, some of it's even made out of wood. It's been in there for, for a long time, so they're piecing it together.
Yeah, interesting. All right, here's Devin Biggs with the forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. With a large supply of ammo in stock, custom Damascus knives, fishing supplies of all kinds, concealed weapons classes, and a full line of Dragonfly UV tackle, plus the latest in ultraviolet tackle. Call today. All right, let's get things rolling out there. We do have a small craft advisory that is posted until about the noon time frame later today. We'll be watching for some active surf for just a little while yet, and still active in a few areas ranging from around 5 to 7 feet, even up to 4 feet, according to the buoy. So that is why we're still dealing with a small craft advisory out there this morning. That'll drop by around midday. We may calm down in the wind department for a while, but we'll have to see if more alerts get issued, especially for the daytime tomorrow, as another system begins to move in. For now, though, we're just seeing a little bit of clouds moving through, maybe a few returns of some precipitation in a few spots, but most of it today will be in the southern parts of the state for any precipitation. For us, though, we will stay dry with a mostly cloudy sky. But we have that front that's going to be parked right about in here, actually. We'll want to keep an eye on that, though, as that will give us the opportunity for clouds, but any rainfall will stay to our south. But we will have our return for a little bit of active weather on the way later this week. So Futurecast moving forward, showing a mostly cloudy sky today, rain to the south. We may clear out for a while overnight tonight, but clouds moving as we head towards your Wednesday, as more active weather will be on the way, and it'll look a little bit like this. By Wednesday night, we'll be watching for a wind shear mix that will be moving in, some ice accumulations and a little bit of snow accumulations. Cannot be ruled out in a few spots. By the time we head towards Thursday morning, a break will be noticed, so temperatures warming up, so any ice that accumulates will be melting, as we'll be watching for normal rain that will be moving through as we head towards Thursday night. Then by early Friday morning, this all gets out of here and things will begin to cool down and calm down for that matter as well. Otherwise, though, here's the snow accumulations that we have our eye on, at least at this point, though, maybe an inch or two before we're all finished up. Some ice accumulations further off towards the north as well that we'll need to keep an eye on, especially further off towards the north. We'll be watching for some ice accumulations that can range up to maybe 0.3 of an inch further off towards the north. Maybe not as bad further down toward the south, but this will be just enough to cause some problems in a few spots. So we'll need to keep an eye on this as it does develop over time. And just to talk about things, so if you know anyone across the Midwest today, give them a call. Make sure they're paying attention to the forecast. Some strong and severe thunderstorms possible in many areas, though, and at least this in a red shaded area, so maybe even in the orange shade as well. Some potential for tornadoes as well. So they will need to keep an eye on things. So if you know anyone there, make sure to give them a call and make sure they're aware of this. But otherwise for today, mid-50s, mostly cloudy. The west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tonight, mid-20s, partly cloudy. North wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 39 degrees, rain, freezing rain, sleet, and snow arriving for the afternoon. The northeast wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, here's a look at your extended forecast brought to you by Crosby Sports Shop. A winter mix switching over to rain for your Thursday. Highs back in the mid-50s, mid-40s for Good Friday with a mostly cloudy sky. Mostly sunny on Saturday. Highs in the low 40s.
Let Hellman's Bakery put a smile on your face with their tasty offerings of breads, baked beans, lasagna, tuche and turkey pies, fruit and cream pies, wedding and specialty cakes, pastries, and more. Hillman's, your hometown bakery, Fairfield.
Did you know that an alpaca item is the most wish-listed gift idea? Stop searching for that perfect gift and start shopping for it at the Blue Alpaca in Belfast. It doesn't matter who's on your gift list, the Blue Alpaca has something for everyone with an incredible selection of alpaca socks, hats, sweaters, even stuffed animals, and more. Shop in-store or online and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. Too much to choose from? Don't worry, the Blue Alpaca also offers gift cards. The Blue Alpaca, feel the difference.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrix material, which is twice as strong as vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything, from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and a superior process.
It's the people.
It's the process.
It's the product.
Call now to get our exceptional signature service. This fantastic offer is available only for a limited time. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Breaking news, y'all. I'm here to present Educator of the Year.
The award goes to Gregory Eddy.
This is Gregory Eddy? Yeah, you with your fine silly ass.
Yeah! Look at us, two young guns, killing award season.
Go ahead and clap for me. Clap.
A new study finds that plants can cry, and it might make you want to never forget to water them. The new research published in the journal Cell found plants make popping noises when they're dehydrated or stressed. They also air their grievances when their stems are cut. Humans can't hear the sounds because they're too high-pitched, but some animals, like mice, can probably pick them up, according to that study. Scientists were able to figure this out by potting plants and placing microphones near them. I don't know if I'd buy that or not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, well, you'd be giving bear hugs for a living if you were hired for this job, literally. The New Mexico Department of Game and Fish is looking for bear huggers to join their efforts to save bears. In order to be a conservation officer, your sole love for hugs sadly won't cut it, though. Extra qualifications include hiking stamina, crawling in a bear's den if necessary, and a degree, of course. Acceptable studies can be in biological sciences, law enforcement, natural resources conservation, or similar fields. Besides all the bear cuddling, you'll also have to make educating the public and enforcing laws related to wild animals a top priority.
So basically, there'll be game wardens or biologists or something like that who also like to hug bears.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think I know a few of them around here that like to do that.
Right, yeah, that's an added plus.
Yeah.
Hugs. Okay. Good Morning America is next on ABC 7.
Have a great day.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyu.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
This isn't your parents' photo booth. Premier Limousine.